Welcome to Back in My Day, the Graham family podcast where three generations gather. Sometimes with cocoa, sometimes with candy canes, but today with smoothies, to talk movies and what they meant to us then and now. I'm your host, Mark Graham, proud Gen Xer, DVD and Blu-ray collector, and the dad who definitely overthinks Christmas movies. Joining me, as always, is my wife, Meghan, our resident millennial cusper and de-escalation expert, especially when these holiday picks get intense. And of course, we've got our two in-house critics, Max, 12-year-old, who's right in that sweet spot where movies start to feel huge and life-changing, and Zach, our 9-year-old mascot and master of calling out anything that makes zero sense. And together today, we're going to go
Back in My Day. So thank you all for the great feedback on our first episode. If you want to reach us, you can always email hello@backinmydaypod.com. We're pleased to announce we have our first sponsor. Today, if you're watching us on television or YouTube, you can see that we're drinking smoothies from GREMLINS, which is a health food shop here on the Avenue in downtown Mamaroneck. I'm drinking their super green smoothie, which is delicious. Max and Zach, what are you drinking?
So I'm drinking a refresher, which is really good. It has strawberry, coconut water, and apples in it. I like it a lot, and I'm really getting the flavors, and it tastes awesome.
And I have an apple juice.
I got their Power Trip smoothie, little peanut butter protein, little chocolate. It's aces. And definitely make sure to stop by Green Life here on the Ave next time you're in Mamaroneck. Okay, guys, this is episode 2 of Back in My Day. This is our very first Christmas episode. Meghan, what are we watching this time?
Sure. Well, in the spirit of holiday chaos, we picked two very different Christmas classics. First up is Gremlins, the 1984 classic monster thriller, where we meet a cute little Christmas character who turns into a full-on small-town monster explosion. We've got snow, caroling monsters, and lots of product placement. Then we're going to be continuing on our Macaulay Culkin jag. We have Home Alone, the 1990 family comedy where 8-year-old Kevin McAllister is left behind at Christmas to defend his house from two very unprepared burglars. So on one side, you've got...
Don't feed them after midnight.
And then on the other, you've got...
Oh, right.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Well, tonight we're going to ask again, as we always do here on Back in My Day, what movies hold up from the time when both Meghan and I were youth, watching around the same time that Max currently is here today. Okay, so let's deck the halls and unleash the mayhem. Let's go Back in My Day with Gremlins and Home Alone.
Great. So let's start with a clip of Gremlins.
So let's go Back in My Day, this time with Gremlins. First, we're going to roll a clip. Clip.
Gizmo, look up here a minute.
Hey, you gotta get a picture taken. Smile.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
No.
What happened?
He hates bright lights. You know, there's some things I forgot to tell you guys, and they're really important. Number 1, he hates bright lights. We know that. But you gotta keep him out of the sunlight. Sunlight will kill him. Number 2, keep him away from water. Don't give him any water to drink. And whatever you do, don't give him a bath. And probably the most important thing, don't ever feed him after midnight.
Okay.
So those were the 3 rules. And our main character, Billy, you know what he does immediately after that? He breaks the first rule, gets Gizmo, the Mogwai, wet. And he multiplies into some other not-so-nice Mogwais. And then later, they trick him into thinking it's before midnight so he can feed them. And then they turn into the Gremlins, which are a mischievous, evil little bunch of bandits. And so the main one, Stripe, goes over to the YMCA, jumps in the pool, and multiplies into enough Gremlins to take over the entire town. And they do that. And they take over the whole town, killing a bunch of people along the way. So,
Very Christmassy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they go over to the movie theater, and Billy and his girlfriend figure out how to make the entire movie theater blow up. So the movie theater explodes, and they kill all the Gremlins, except for Stripe, the main one. So he runs over to the department store, and he's about to jump into a fountain so he can multiply, start over the whole thing. But then Gizmo comes up with his big Barbie Corvette and opens up the curtains and unleashes the sunlight, killing Stripe. So the whole town, except people who died, are happy, and they go back to their normal lives, and Gizmo goes back to where he came from.
Excellent summary. So
And the Gremlins were also really funny, especially when they got drunk at a bar.
they did get drunk.
It was really strange. They were like, I'm drunk.
So, Dad, why did you have us watch this movie full of drunken monsters?
Well, Gremlins came out in June of 1984, so I wasn't quite 12. I was 10, but this was something that repeated a lot in my household growing up. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies, one of my favorite movies altogether. It's sort of like I picked it, one, because of the Christmas spirit. It's our Christmas episode. But two, it was really the first horror movie that I ever watched, and it's a really nice introduction into the horror genre, mixed up with some Christmas things. That's why I picked it for us here today.
And do you all feel like it qualifies as a Christmas movie?
I think it qualifies as a Christmas movie because, like, it was at the Mogwai was a Christmas gift, and it wasn't fun. It was not horror enough to be a horror movie because, like I said before, the Gremlins got drunk.
Well, I don't think it necessarily qualifies as a Christmas movie. It's a fun movie to watch around the holidays, but it, like, just takes place during Christmas. It's not like, oh, no, what a Christmas tragedy. The Gremlins have taken over the entire town. Who's going to save Christmas now? Like, I don't think it's necessarily a Christmas movie. It's a holiday winter movie.
That's a good point. I think one of the reasons that makes it a Christmas movie, there's multiple Christmas songs played within. Obviously, the time frame of the year is Christmas-based, and it's got a little spirit of family. The family comes together to defeat the gremlins, to defeat the monsters that take over the town. I don't know. It's more than a Christmas movie than Die Hard is, at least.
True. So one of the things I thought was interesting when I was looking up about this is that Chris Columbus was a writer on this film with Joe Dante, and it was produced by Steven Spielberg. And one of the things that he changed, making it more Spielbergy, was originally Gizmo and Stripe. They weren't two different characters. Gizmo was going to become a gremlin and would have turned evil. And I think Spielberg knew that it would be more family friendly to keep Gizmo, and also better productizing if you're going to merchandise a little cute little Gizmo versus a scary Stripe. What do you think would have changed if Gizmo hadn't stayed cute and cuddly the whole movie?
Well, I feel like it would have felt more of like a struggle, like, because Gizmo shows up in his funny little car and opens up the blinds, but, like, Billy would have had to, like, maneuver around Stripe and get to the blinds then. And I feel like the stakes would have been higher, because it's like, there's no cute Mogwai, like, lightening the mood. It's like a bunch of monsters versus a couple of teens. And one other thing I felt was a little bit weird, so a plot hole, is, so technically it is always after midnight. So, like, what qualifies is when it's not midnight, when they can start eating again.
When it turns light.
But that's never said in the movie. It's
Right.
like-
It doesn't make perfect sense, right?
Like around 6 or 7.
But
that's when
midnight
it
is
turns
such a
light.
cool time, particularly when you're young, like the characters in this movie. Midnight is always like the magic time in the universe, and that's a time when no one should ever be up, particularly when you're like a high school or like the guys in this movie. So I think that's why they picked midnight.
I guess.
So do you think the story would have been, officially horror without Gizmo staying nice? And would that have been good or bad?
I don't think so. Like, I feel like besides, like, adding the cute, lovable character, it's basically the same movie if Gizmo was
It would be a horror movie if they gave the Gremlins knives, because it was PG at that time. And
Yeah, how is that movie PG? Like,
Oh, so this is actually a pretty interesting fact. So some parents were upset that there was so much gore in it for a PG. They felt it should have been an R, and this is actually one of the movies that helped introduce the PG-13 rating, because they needed something in
yeah.
between.
I don't feel it's quite an R, but I don't think it's PG. Like,
Well, absolutely. In 1984, when this movie first came out, so Ghostbusters and Gremlins came out on the exactly same day. And later that summer, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom came out, which was another Steven Spielberg movie. And he was really pushing the idea of getting a new rating that's in between PG and R so that kids like you and your age could go see these movies that otherwise might be too intense. So the whole PG-13 movie revolution came out because of Gremlins and because of Steven Spielberg and Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm. And Mark, was there anything you noticed watching this as an adult that you didn't really, that kind of went over your head when you were younger?
Absolutely. One of the big themes of the movie that you definitely don't pick up on, I don't think either one of you guys did when you were a kid, but as someone who grew up in the 80s and saw this then and is rewatching it now, one of the big sort of themes of the movie is fear of the other. So there's this character in the movie played by Dick Miller, who was in a lot of creature features and monster movies in the 50s and 60s. He plays this character called Murray Futterman, who is this old guy. He was a World War II vet. He's kind of like the town drunk, kind of also similar, maybe like Hoosiers. They also had a town drunk in that movie in our first episode. But Murray Futterman's always sort of complaining in this movie about foreigners are ruining everything. This movie, again, 1984, one of the big things that was going on in America at the time was there was a real fear of Japan taking over for the United States as a world power, economically, culturally. So you see a lot of stuff in this movie. There's like, the guys always complained about foreign cars and foreign television, which again was a really, really big thing. I definitely didn't pick that up when I was a kid, but noticed it really, really pronounced right now also. And Stripe is a little bit of that too. Stripe is kind of like, he's kind of like a punk rocker. So that was something else that like people were afraid of at the time. Like these punk rock kids are going to take over the world and what's happening to our normal children. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't pick that up as a kid.
Totally. So there's something called, it's called xenophobia when you're afraid of other people. And I did not notice this at all in the original when I watched it as a kid. But there's a real fear of Asia, and even from the beginning when they're in this store, and it's this confusing little store, and then also I think in the 80s, technology was a big thing that Japan was doing really well with, and the Gremlins really mess with wiring and every single possible machine that they can, whether it's a car or a radio.
Totally. And like American incompetence also comes through with it. And the father character, who's this inventor who's inventing lots of stuff, but none of it ever works. He's always spilling like
completely useless
toothpaste on himself. And he's gone all the time on this. So yeah, that was a major theme I definitely didn't pick up when I was a kid.
Yeah. The other thing that I noticed was all the merch. You know, they end in the department store. Gizmo himself was hugely merchandised. He was everywhere after this movie came out, and the Barbie car is like
Barbie
was part of the ending, and there were so many things.
Well, the Barbie car was like the coolest toy of that Christmas season, so it was really kind of cool how they worked that in.
Yeah, but definitely, I feel like that was a Spielberg moment where he just like noticed the potential for people and kids to want the things they see in a movie. I'm curious if there were any items you saw that looked interesting, or were they all really outdated?
Well, did you think the in Gremlins the Barbie car like made the sales go up for Barbie?
It might have. I know it was really popular. And Gizmo did look pretty cool driving that thing.
The movie was hugely popular. It remained in the top 10 of the box office for almost a year after the movie came out.
Damn.
And at the time it was released, it was the #1 movie in Warner Brothers movie history. It wasn't eclipsed until Batman came out in 1989, but that was the most popular movie for an entire movie studio, if you can imagine that. Mm-hmm. And I thought one of the other kind of things that really made me want to pick this is, as you guys all know, I really love movies. And this is a real movie lover's movie. There are so many references built into this movie. Wizard of Oz is built in there. The sort of evil villain lady, Mrs. Deagle. She's kind of like the Wicked Witch. She's kind of like Scrooge. She's an awesome...
Yeah, that plot point was kind of funny to me, because they're like, oh no, we need to save the bar that everyone proposed to their future wife.
Did you know I proposed to your mother in a bar? It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, and then so then they went with that whole thing. Miss Deagle's gonna shut this down, and then the Gremlins showed up, and Miss Deagle like dies, and then that never nothing ever happens to the bar besides the Gremlins invading it. But like they never go anywhere with that.
But it's one of the greatest scenes in the movie because it's where all the Gremlins are hanging out. Mm-hmm. There's a Gremlin who's smoking 3 cigarettes at once. There's one who's kind of like dressed in drag, who's got a bunch of lipstick on. They're shooting each other in the bar. I don't know, the violence of that is amazing. But like other movie moments, Invasion of the Body Snatchers is clearly a big reference on this one. Snow White, they show Snow White, the movie theater in this, which is kind of cool. War of the Worlds, and there's even a little Texas Chainsaw Massacre in this one too.
Well, also the key locations are all filmed on the backlight lot at Universal Studios. It's the same downtown that Back to the Future was filmed in.
Absolutely a great Easter egg spot there. Because the movie theater they blow up is the same movie theater where in Back to the Future, the DeLorean shoots right through when he's going back to the future.
Well, did you watch this movie on Christmas, Dad?
Yes, certainly, absolutely. The movie came out in the summertime, but with the rise of VHS.
Who wants to watch a Christmas movie in the middle of the summer?
I don't know exactly. I don't know if it was a movie that our family watched all the time at Christmas, but it was definitely a Hallmark movie for me at Christmas time. Zach, how many Zachs would you give this movie?
Out of what?
10.
Out of how many Zachs? You can make up the scale.
I would give this movie a 3 out of 5 Zacks.
Because you didn't watch all of it because it was a little too scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. It was pretty good. It was a fun time.
They made it. It would have been. Actually, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 because of the drunk and cigaretting gremlins. They're like.
Would you recommend it to your friends, Max?
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Cool. Well, okay, that's our chat on Gremlins here today. That was my pick. Megan, what did you pick for us to watch today? How are we getting the season with you?
So I picked Home Alone. I know I'm already breaking your rules. I was supposed to choose a movie that came out the month we're filming when I was 12. This one came out in 1990, but I'm pretty sure I did not see it in the movie theater. I would have seen it when it came on VHS, and it was an instant classic. And
Watch it every year.
What's that?
We watch it every year.
We do watch it every year. Macaulay Culkin pretty much dominated the culture for the whole span of the early 90s. And I just think it's the perfect mix of wish fulfillment and careful what you wish for. Really some great moments and remembering that family is what really matters. Plus just gorgeous set design and all of those booby traps and that amazing house.
The best house that's not in a Nancy Meyers movie, probably.
Yeah.
Max, why don't you tell us, what was Home Alone all about?
All right, so we got Kevin McAllister, who's this little kid who his whole family is being really mean to him because they're going to France and they're all stressed out. So Kevin says he wishes his family would all disappear, and his mom gets mad at him, and she's like, well, maybe you'll get what you wish for. So he goes upstairs, and the power goes out overnight. The whole family oversleeps their alarms, and they rush out of the door in a rush to get to the airport. And then Kevin has been left home alone, and the family realizes this when they're in Paris. So the mom is like, I have to get home. So she leaves everyone, and everyone else goes to the hotel. So Kevin figures out he's home alone, and he has the time of his life. He's jumping on the beds, eating ice cream for breakfast. But then these two burglars, Harry and Marv, show up, and he's like, oh my gosh. So he comes up with this thing. So he makes it seem like there's a lot of people in the house, but it's just cardboard cutouts. So Harry and Marv go away, and they're like, we're going to come back at 9 o'clock tomorrow for the whole neighborhood, for anyone who wants to know. They just shout out their plans, and Kevin hears this. So he goes to church the next day, and he sees Old Man Marley, who his brother told him was like a whole serial killer, and he was really scared of him. But it turns out he's just a nice old guy. So they become friends, and Kevin goes back to his house and sets up this whole elaborate death trap in his house. And Harry and Marv go through the gauntlet, and I feel like they should be dead. Multiple times over. And then they end up chasing Kevin out of the house and cornering him. And they're about to kill him, but then Old Man Marley shows up, whacks them on the back of the head with a snow shovel. The police show up, they get arrested. Kevin's mom comes back home, none the wiser to anything that just happened, and they live happily ever after.
Woo! Great summary. And what a great movie, right? It is a Christmas classic.
Yes.
Right?
Truly.
Megan, so do you remember the first time that you saw this movie?
I don't know. It feels like it's always been
part of your life?
embedded in my brain, yeah.
What was your relationship to Macaulay Culkin at the time?
Well, we
He's like kind of
went to
your
high
age,
school
wasn't he?
together. No, so I mean, I thought he was adorable, and I think that this movie has this perfect element of we all sort of think that put in a high stress situation we would perform, and he's left all on his own as an 8-year-old, and he's able to outwit these two
Goes
adults.
to the grocery store all by himself, gets everything he needs. He washes all the dishes. He runs the washing machine, and he just operates the whole house by himself during Christmas season, and it's wild. I would not be able to do that.
Yeah.
Well, Max, you mentioned Kevin is home alone, so he's jumping on the bed. He's splashing the stuff on his face. He's eating ice cream for breakfast, but he's also watching black and white movies. Is that something you guys would ever do today if you got left home alone?
Maybe.
Maybe?
If it was the keep your change, you filthy animal.
I mean, I'd probably be watching.
Do you think have you ever watched a black and white movie?
Does The Wizard of Oz count?
I guess so. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like he's watching either a VHS tape of his parents' movies or something that's on television, right?
Sure, totally. But he was home alone for 3 nights, and that was all he
He wants
did.
to watch an adult movie because his parents wouldn't let him.
Oh, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought about it that way. So one of the things, Meghan picked out this awesome clip from Home Alone. Let's roll the clip.
I'm sorry.
It's too late. Get upstairs.
Everyone in this family hates me.
Then maybe you should ask Santa for a new family.
I don't want a new family. I don't want any family. Families suck.
Just stay up there. I don't want to see you again for the rest of the night.
I don't want to see you again for the rest of my whole life. And I don't want to see anybody else either.
I hope you don't mean that. You'd feel pretty sad if you woke up tomorrow morning and you didn't have a family.
No, I wouldn't.
Then say it again. Maybe it'll happen.
I hope I never see any of you jerks again.
Okay, Meghan, great clip you chose there. So when you first saw this movie, you were right around Kevin's age, but obviously do you view the movie through a different lens now that you're an adult and a mom?
For sure. Every time Kevin does something in the house or to the burglars, I just think, oh my gosh, what is he breaking? Who is going to clean that up? What happens after he eats that giant bowl of ice cream?
He cleans it all up. No, his parents are never going to know.
That's how you can tell it's fiction.
Yeah.
But, in this clip, just seeing this kind of fight scene between Kevin and his mom, and Catherine O'Hara is amazing in this movie. And I just think it's this moment where we've all been in a heated situation where we say something we don't mean. And I'm just curious if you guys thought about it when you were watching it, if you then regret. Have you ever regretted something that you said in a fight?
Yes, but not immediately afterwards.
Right.
Have you, Zach?
I do not remember the last time that happened to me.
Well, thankfully, it's never happened because we've never left you home alone. But so Meghan, maybe you can help explain this a little bit. So, you're just talking a little bit about how on this time you viewed it, you identified really with Kevin's mom. How did she not just completely and totally lose it? How'd she avoid getting hysterical about this?
Well, I think she's a little bit hysterical on the plane when she figures out that she's left her 8-year-old at home
Yeah,
by
she's
himself.
like, I'm a horrible mother. Yeah, you are. You left your kid at home.
In first class. So I think she has that moment of just freak out, but then she has to go into,
She walks in. She's like, I have to go save my son and make sure he survives.
Yeah. Moms don't have time for hysterics. We've got to fix things.
That's exactly right. The mental load is something that you have taught me about over the time. And once she gets past her initial freak out on the plane, she goes into full mom action mode and solves the day.
She's like, I'm going to offer all my personal belongings to get home. I don't care that you have to make it home for Christmas. I have to go see my son. And she straight up just steals someone's tickets.
It is kind of a bummer. I mean, it's fun that she gets to go on this planes, trains, and automobiles escapade with John Candy. I did love that what kind of band? A polka band. When they were in that truck playing music, Max turned to us and said, "Is this what people did for entertainment before they had phones?"
Well, you
Let's go play some instruments with this person we've never met in a car for 7 hours.
But the rub is that she went all over the country in order to get home, and then what was it? 10 minutes later, the whole family got back.
Yeah,
because they had flown back on that flight that she skipped out on.
The dad got lucky with his frequent flyer miles or something. But you just mentioned Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. I think it's important to note this movie was written by John Hughes, who was a very, very influential filmmaker in the 1980s. He made a whole bunch of teen movies like Pretty in Pink and The Breakfast Club. But this movie is really sort of his greatest hits. So John Hughes did Ferris Bueller. There's definitely a little bit of Ferris Bueller and Kevin McAllister. Would you say, Max?
Yeah, I guess so. Breaking
the Fourth Wall, looking directly into the camera, just kind of like his antics a little bit. There's definitely Planes, Trains, and Automobiles as a part of that. Also, John Hughes wrote all of the National Lampoon's vacation movies, including Christmas Vacation, which came out right around this exact same time and also had a really, really big scene that takes place in attics. All of which winds me up to my point. Max, what's scarier, an attic or a basement? Because Kevin gets freaked out about that basement.
I think a basement, because I've never really been, like, when I was scared of attic and basement, I've never really been scared of the attic. It's been like a fun. You get to climb up the ladder. And then the basement, it's like the boiler. I know, for some reason I was scared of, like, the blinking light. I was like, it's going to get me. Basements are definitely scarier.
Zach, are you scared of basements or attics?
Well, in our house, we don't really have, like, those dark basements.
Yeah.
But Kevin did. But the only thing he could do to stop the boiler is just he's like, shut up.
Yeah, I did like that when he was facing his fears, because in the beginning he's afraid of the boiler, he's afraid of his neighbor, and he kind of decides it's time to grow up when he's on his own, and he doesn't want to be scared anymore, and he kind of pulls him up from his bootstraps and terrifies the burglars.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I know 80s was like a much more like free time than current years, but so Marv just waltzes into their house dressed as a police officer, and the dad's like, we're going to head to Paris for a week, and our lights are going to be going on at this time, and our doors are going to be locked, and we're going to be, we're just handing, you want this information? Here, just take it. Like, I don't care if I get robbed. I feel secure. Like,
that was pretty surprising.
That.
My mom, Yaya, would not have allowed us ever to speak to anyone about any details about ourselves. So that was pretty unusual for me as a viewer.
Megan, do you have a favorite trap? Because the traps that Kevin lays out for the wet bandits, that's obviously the highlight of the movie when they try to do the home invasion. Was there a trap that you thought was really cool or memorable?
I mean, I think the classic Legos on the floor, great trap that gets laid for unwitting parents all the time.
To this day.
Yeah. Followed by a paint can to the face.
Yeah. My, I wouldn't necessarily call it my favorite, but the one that stands out the most is when Marv is on the stairs covered in tar and he steps onto a nail and it goes through his foot. But speaking of which, Marv and Harry should be dead.
Yeah.
So Marv, he gets
Did you make a list of how many times they almost died?
Maybe. Okay. So Marv gets a crowbar right to his head, and then he gets an iron falls right on his face. He falls on his back downstairs. He steps on glass. He falls on his back again. He gets multiple paint cans to the face and falls down the stairs again, and he falls from a height from the zip lines. Like, that's like 5 times that this guy should be dead, and he's just, I'm fine. And then Harry, he gets shot with a BB gun. He falls on his back again and again. He gets his hand literally branded by the door handle. He has an M on his hand forever.
Just walk it off.
Yeah. His head is lit on fire by a blowtorch, literally. And he falls on the cars. He falls on his back. He falls on his back again. And he also gets hit with a crowbar and gets paint cans to the face multiple times. How are these men not dead? Like, they're just built different, I guess.
My favorite trap was when Kevin shot the BB gun into someone's nuts and then the other time into someone's head. and then they had to run back into the store, and they're like, oh.
My favorite trap of all of them, I have to say, was the flamethrower device. When Marv comes in the door and Kevin sets the flame on his head. His brains got scrambled.
Yeah.
So Max, would you recommend this movie to your friends?
I wouldn't recommend it, partly because they've already seen it. There's nothing to recommend. Like, it's a good movie. I would watch it with my friends, but there's nothing to recommend. Everyone's seen this movie. It's great. It's amazing.
But is it a good as a rewatch?
Yes.
So you can recommend it as a rewatch.
I guess. But, like, I would recommend it, I guess.
Yeah.
Zach, how many Zacks would you give this on your patented Zack scale?
Another 4 out of 5 10s, but I would have liked to
4 out of 5 10s? What?
4 out of 5 Zacks?
A 4 out of 5 Zacks.
That's better.
Because I honestly feel like they should have like shown more pain to like everything.
You wanted more pain.
Yeah.
More pain.
No,
more blood.
I mean, like,
more gore.
Like they like I'm saying the traps were good, but they should have like shown them like and then
Well, you really should have watched Gremlins then, because that had lots of gore.
and then the weakness, what they should have had the weakness, and then they were about to kill Kevin, but then his nuts set on fire from another trap.
Okay. Okay, so I think that concludes our chat on not only Gremlins, but also Home Alone. But real quick bonus round. Megan, what's your favorite Christmas movie of all time?
Ooh. I think Scrooge. I know you don't like that one, but I watched it at the pivotal time. Love Bill Murray.
Another
Great
80s
one.
Christmas
Yeah.
classic. Zach, what is your favorite Christmas movie of all
I
time?
think my favorite Christmas movie is Muppets Christmas Carol.
Ooh.
We watch it
Good
every
one.
year on Christmas Eve. So, yeah.
An awesome choice. One of my all-time favorites. Max, what's your favorite Christmas movie of all time?
I have two that are coming to mind right now. So, number one, 8-Bit Christmas. It's about this kid who is trying to get a Nintendo system, and he will not go through it. I would definitely recommend that movie. It's really fun. It takes place in the 80s, and
I love watching that with
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
we also watch that one every year. And another movie I like that you guys don't really like, but I think it's called Spirited, like the Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell musical movie. It's very
Good
long.
afternoon.
Yeah. It's very long, but it's
Rude.
pretty funny.
Oh, sorry.
That's an insult in that world.
Well, that is very true. Gremlins, unfortunately, is not my all-time favorite Christmas movie, but I was trying to match the rubric here. But my favorite Christmas movie of all time is A Christmas Story. That's one that we
Good one.
also watch every year. That's basically 8-Bit Christmas is A Christmas Story, only in the
With,
1980s instead of the 1940s.
Yeah, with the Nintendo system instead of the BB gun.
Exactly, but A Christmas Story to me is just so funny. It plays really well. You guys it's almost been 100 years since the 1940s, but it still feels like relevant every single year.
Yeah.
Mainly because I think it takes place in
And
the
on top
past.
of that movie, you should just know how to shoot a BB gun. Like, everyone's dad teaches you that. You got to get in the middle of the box.
Zach, I don't know what you're talking about. You shot a BB gun maybe like twice.
Well, no one shot their eye out yet, but yes.
I'm actually an expert on BB guns. I shot one twice. Okay, buddy.
That wraps up our special Christmas episode and episode number 2 of
Back mother.
Back in my day. Yes, exactly. There you have it, Zach. Again, as always, we want to thank our friends here at LMC Media, producer Astrid. Thank you again for doing an outstanding job here. Also want to give a huge shout out to our friends over at Green Life. Again, they're our sponsor here today. Thank you very much for that. Next time you're on the Ave, go get one of these Green Monsters. Is that what it was called?
I think so.
Yes. Get one of those smoothies. Any health food you want. It's incredible. Go check it out.
And healthy.
Healthy and delicious, I would say.
Yes.
And a couple notes before we go. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. You can find us at backinmydaypod.com. We welcome any feedback. We got lots of great feedback. Again, make sure to like and subscribe, whether that's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, our YouTube channel. You can find all of these links on our website. Send us an email with feedback. We got a couple emails from listeners last time. You can get us at hello@backinmydaypod.com. Also, this will be on cable television at some point. Make sure to check your local listings. And we'd love to hear from you. Remember, one more time, what do? We like,
We watch.
we watch.
We like and rewind. Until next time, see you on
Back in my day.